At this point, I think we're, about 2 weeks into the expansion? And it's looking like Priest is not going to be a very good class going forward. But that's not for lack of trying. People have tried Resurrect decks with Mass Resurrection and Moshog Enforcer, that kind of stuff. They've tried Silence Priest, they've tried the Chef Nomi deck. But I can't help but wonder if maybe the lack of success is just people trying a little bit too hard. What if we just ignore all those synergies and just play a Control Priest that has good cards in it? Because in this expansion, Priest actually got probably the best cards overall, other than maybe Rogue. They got a lot of cards that are just really good, but don't necessarily scream out an archetype. So how about just good cards control Priest? We got the Hench-Clan Shadequill, which is a 4-mana 4/7. We got the Convincing Infiltrator, Madame Lazul, just generically very good cards. We got Forbidden Words, another very good card. Lazul's Scheme, which works with Forbidden Words, works with Cabal Shadow Priest, which is extremely good in the greedy matchups to steal a, I don't know, Ysera or whatever greedy card people are playing. The Lazul's Scheme is also good with Mass Hysteria. And something I keep forgetting when I'm playing it, you can always just use Lazul's Scheme to value trade with one of your guys. At the top end, as far as new cards go, we've got Katrina Muerte. We're not really building around it all that much. Like, sometimes we're going to hit a Pyromancer, a Madame Lazul, or a Northshire Cleric. But I think that's just fine, especially when you consider that the high rolls are like a 4/7, or a Ziliact, or a War Golem. And speaking of Archivist Elysiana, I think Priest probably uses this card better than any other class, because we get to use Seance instead of Youthful Brewmaster or Baleful Banker, which I think is just a better and generally more flexible card. Depending on the matchup, instead of seancing Elysiana, we can seance Katrina Muerte. Or we can just seance another copy of Shadow Priest, another copy of Ziliax. So a lot of good new stuff for this deck, but some good old stuff too. We've got a copy of Mind Control just for some sick value. Mass Hysteria is probably the best board clear in the format. Auchenai plus Circle combo is still a pretty good board clear. Circle also goes well with Cleric and Pyromancer. Pyromancer is a pretty good card against all the token druids running around. Power Word Shield is a great card. Seems like a deck where the average power level of the cards is quite high, so we'll see if we can form it into a cohesive deck.
Versus Lunara.
The forest fights back. The moon give me strength.
I think I'm looking pretty hard for Pyro and Mass Hysteria against Token Druid. No 1-drop, but it could still be Token Druid. I think they only play the Acorn guy on one. Alright, no 2-drop is pretty suspicious, especially considering he could have gained 1 armor and hit me for 1 damage for free. So Wild Growth means possibly a Lucent Bark deck. So I can Mind Control Lucent Bark and Shadow Priest another Lucent Bark. Or I can just beat him to death with Shade Quills. I probably just steal the Giant Grizzly Bear next turn. I'd rather steal a Lucent Bark, but this makes his Witching Hours a hell of a lot worse. And the deck has a pretty weak turn 7.
Can't win them all.
Yep. Alright. Aggro deck.
Tyrande versus Rexa. Let the hunt begin.
The moon give me strength.
So Hunter is probably Mech Hunter. There is that build of Mech Hunter that's pretty aggressive. Maybe the Pyromancer would be a good keep. Yeah, I think it's a good keep.
Happy noble god.
happy noble dog.
Didn't I mulligan this card? Why is it in my hand?
What is my purpose?
Well, my wild pyromancer is going to have some trouble killing that. I'm definitely glad I kept this pyromancer. But my hand still doesn't really support it that well. But next turn I play this guy, and then this on 5, this on 6. Some good old curve stone. Forbidden Words would be a pretty good draw. Alright, we'll stick with 4-drop on 4. Ooh, poison. Well, let's play this thing. I don't think the Pyro Power Word Shield makes too much sense quite yet. Alright, I think we're looking at a Mass Hysteria draw. Oh, that was a good hit though. Actually, the Pyro might be good enough with that hit. So, Pyro Shield, and then I guess I just play a Cleric and heal my face. I could also just Forbidden Words for 6. The Pyro does only take 3 power off the board compared to 6. And I have seen several magnetic things already. Maybe these little dudes aren't as much of a threat as I'm considering them. Let's go ahead and just drop the Forbidden Words. Hopefully I can clean up with Pyros next turn. Okay, this is fine. I mean, I'm getting kind of low on life, so it's not that fine, but it's fine. Circle of Healing. So I can go, what, Pyro, Cleric, Power Word Shield, Circle. Like, yeah, drawing cards is nice. I would draw 4 cards. I would need one of them to be a playable spell, but that's pretty likely. Or I can even just throw down the second Pyro when I play the Circle.
Is someone injured?
Alright, found a scheme already. Might want to try to hold it with the Shadow Priest, though. I'll just use the scheme here, because it lets me heal my face for 2. Healing my face for 2 seems important this turn. Okay, just kidding, it's Divine Hymn. Nice, heal up, draw 2 more cards. Next turn I can scheme Shadow Priest anything with 4 attack. Shadow or Death, something too big gets played, Ziliax to heal a bit. This is probably like the worst case scenario, but it's not the end of the world.
I wonder.
I think I like just healing here. Get that 5/5 out of play. These Goblin Bombs do a lot of damage, but it's not like he can Void Ripper them or anything. And if he magnetizes onto one of them, he still has to go through Ziliax first. So I'm feeling pretty comfortable right now, I think. That's gonna get Shadow Priested.
I wonder what this
Please kill the Cleric. Nice. Am I still gonna Shadow Priest that? I'll have to put the scheme into it. Shadow Priesting that also looks good. Maybe this is another Pyro turn? Pyro, scheme. There's no way for me to full clear. I think I'm just stealing the one that makes 1/1s. And then I'm gonna Forbidden Words the Spider Bomb.
change your mind.
Hopefully it kills this Goblin Bomb, but it doesn't really matter that much, I don't think. I'm still at 15, he's only got 2 cards in his hand. Should be pretty comfortable. Unity, precision, perfection. I just mind control that thing, right? Mind control a goblin bomb, let's go.
Obey.
Yep, he can't beat that Zilliax. Nice, that was pretty clean. Some kind of sketchy turns in the mid game, but we pulled it out.
Granda versus Lazul.
I foresaw this encounter. Elune give me strength.
Another priest. I guess I keep cleric power word shield, right? If he's Nomi priest, I just need to draw all my board clears. If he's something else... I mean, if he's like Resurrect priest, Cabal Shadow priest is insane against Moshog Enforcer.
Injured?
Okay, he's just Silence priest.
Right away.
Could bump here and circle for 2 cards. May have been worth it, actually. Ouch. The Pyro could have been pretty good if I still had that Cleric. Let's coin this thing out. If he kills it, it at least kills a 4/5. And if not, I can use it plus Zilliax to take this out and then still have a Spider Bomb in play.
Your magic shall not save.
Well, that's a bummer. But I still have the Zilliax. Can also just Forbidden Words. I think I like the Zilliax. And we want to take this guy out, because if we kill the Spellbreaker, he can value trade and then heal his guy up, and I can't kill it. Okay. I almost put a Mass Dispel in this deck. Would have been sick here. I can just bump here in Mass Hysteria. I guess that's the play. Just kill both of his dudes. All you have to do is make sure Silence Priest doesn't have a board and they can't do anything. If he plays a thing here, I have Forbidden Words. Heal pass, let's go.
I just want some peace and quiet.
That's a 5/8. Should I kill it? I think I play a Spider Tank here. Lines up nicely against his River Crocolisk. And I shouldn't really need the healing in this matchup.
Don't crack me up.
So I could bump Auchenai, Hero Power, Circle. It's not really like the greatest Auchenai Circle, but like I said, I just need to make sure he doesn't have a board. That's really all that's important.
Time to operate.
Also picked up a Shadow Priest to go with my Lazul's scheme, and at a 4 reduction it probably steals anything in his deck. So I think this game is probably looking pretty good for me. I've dealt with a lot of his threats so far, and I can just steal his next 2 threats.
What must I do?
Whispers everywhere.
Let me
Let's go ahead and steal this guy. Yep. So he just killed all his stuff, and then he died.
Tyrande versus Malfurion.
My beloved children.
My dear Malfurion.
Let's try to find board clears for Token Druid, although I have seen a lot of other Druid decks at this rank. It's a very good anti-Token Druid hand.
Is someone injured?
This be our neck of the woods.
Well, I'm glad I had a Cleric on one, because I get to kill that and draw a card.
What shall we hunt? Right away.
Card draw, let's go. Save the Power Word Shield for a Pyro clear.
Right away.
4/7 in play. Next turn I can go like Pyro, Power Word Shield, Divine Hymn to deal 2 AoE. Looks like 2 AoE might not be good enough. It's probably fine actually. Leave him with just one thing on board. But I could also just go Ziliax Bump. It's a pretty good clear as well. Yeah, no reason to overreact. Wild Pyromancer is like the best card in my deck in this matchup. He can full clear here, but he's clearing his own board, so that's fine. His board is way more valuable than mine. Okay. Looks like a Pyro clear that draws me 2 cards. Akanai Hero Power is actually pretty decent, but I probably want to save Akanai for when I draw circles.
Is someone injured?
Speaking of circle, I could burn the circle here to draw some cards, but it's definitely better with the Akanai. Or even just with a second Pyromancer. I have seen a swipe already, so this Pyro might actually just be hard for him to deal with. And if Token Druid can't deal with a Pyro on board, they're in a lot of trouble. Looks like a Wrath, though. No, not a Wrath. Interesting. He did take his guy out of Shadow Priest range. This board is actually not that convenient to deal with. I could go, like, Circle of Healing, draw 2, this is at 3, this is at 2, trade in here, Akanai Hero Power. It's a decent little clear. I leave the Akanai in play, but I kind of throw away a board clear. I really don't like leaving this in play, though. I don't know, let's play this thing and see what I get. So I took Vargoth there, because I can go Akanai Circle Vargoth, which will kill a Soul of the Forest board.
Free of that blasted tower.
Landscaping, sure. This might have to be in my Akanai Circle. Or, let's see, I know he has the half of Power of the Wild from this and a Twin Spell thing in his hand. The Forest's Aid. So I can maybe get away with just going Cabal Shadow Priest here. Trade here. He's only showing 8. It's not that big of a deal. Even get to heal up a bit. This is like a really excellent Cabal Shadow Priest target. I could also just go like,
I
what,
wonder.
Pyro, Seance. I actually can't full clear with a Pyro play. I can full clear with an Auchenai, but if I full clear with Auchenai here, he just plays the twin spell thing and I can't really deal with it that well. I think I just steal his dude.
Let me
Seems
change
good.
your life.
Like, even if the mystery card in his hand is Savage Roar and he draws another Savage Roar, I'm still just alive, I think. Oh no, I would be exactly dead, wouldn't I? Well, he doesn't have 2 Savage Roars. Oh my god, he just double Savage Roared me. Fuck you! That's so unlucky. I knew these 2 cards. He had to have exactly Savage Roar and then Savage Roar off the top. I still think my play was fine last turn.